Is living in America giving you the blues? Do you want to move abroad permanently? I'm here today with some tips to help you get your permanent residency overseas. My name is Sheeta D, and I help burned out women design lives they love on career breaks and sabbaticals. Subscribe to my channel for all the tips you need to take your career break too. I've coached hundreds of women who wanted to take career breaks, and I've helped transform their lives as they travel the world. All right, so you want to get residency overseas. First things first, figure out the closest embassy that country has to where you are. So when I'm in Florida, I live in Fort Lauderdale. I'm in Mexico now because Mexico is the country I love. If I wanted to get residency in Mexico, and I think I do, and I'm going to go through the process, I would go online, search the Mexico website for their embassies, and find the Miami embassy because Miami is the closest one to Fort Lauderdale. The closest embassy to you might be far, far away. You still need to know where it is. Now visit the website for that embassy and figure out if they have permanent residency, temporary residency, if citizenship is available, and what the different requirements for those three types of residency are. Keep in mind that in a lot of countries, the requirements can vary slightly based on the city or the country the embassy is based in. So for Mexico, I have seen different things on the website for the embassy in Philadelphia than I saw in Miami. But since I'm going to Miami, I need, because it's close to me, I need to pay attention to the Miami requirements. This is an advanced level, but if you know that the country's embassies have different requirements based on the city that embassy is in, you can kind of game the system by figuring out which requirements you like the most or might be more convenient for you and making your appointments that you'll need to make at that embassy in the city you'll need to go to, even if you have to travel a bit. You don't always have to do it. I'm not recommending it. I am saying that it is a way I know that people game the system. Now, the difference between Philadelphia and Miami was a $4 difference in the filing fee. I am not going to cross state lines for a $4 difference in the filing fee, but it is important for me to note as I am doing my steps, as I'm figuring out what's going on, how much money I need to pay is important. The Mexico embassy takes credit cards and debit cards, so I don't actually need to have cash. But in case I'm at a place that requires a cashier's check, I need to know the right amount, and so look at the rules of the place you're actually going to go to. Next step, now that you know the rules, you know which embassy you're going to be dealing with for this country, collect all the paperwork that the embassy says you need. So it might be a long list, it might be a short list. Figure out what it is they want from you and start the process of collecting those paperwork. Now, the paperwork you're going to need is probably going to differ based on the type of residency you want, whether that's permanent, whether it's temporary, whether you're interested in citizenship. Those are all going to be different types of visas with different types of paperwork. And within temporary and permanent, there are also other types as well. And so there might be a whole different breakdown of the paperwork you need. You're going to want to pay close attention to what's asked of you. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you're going to want to have a third party help you with the process. If you don't speak the language that the country does business in, you might need some help. You might not if they translate a lot of things into the language you do speak. Sometimes there are services or lawyers who can help you with this, and you will need help. And other times, it's going to, depending on the country, it's going to be a smooth process, and you won't need anything from a third party at all. Now tell me, which country would you be most interested in getting residency in? This can be a permanent residency, like a retirement, a temporary residency, like you want to move there for a few years, or even citizenship. Now, which country is the most attractive for you? You already know me, you know I love Mexico. I'm thinking of getting my temporary residency in Mexico. That is for people who want to be in the country for more than 6 months, but under 4 years. Because if it's over 4 years, they want you to look at the permanent residency and applying for that. Often, unless you're moving to a country on a work visa, you're going to have to show the government of that country that you are financially solvent and you're not going to come to the country and take advantage of their resources. So what that usually means is showing that you have a certain amount of financial solvency by showing how much money you have in your bank account or investment accounts, or how much money you have coming in each month. That could be through a pension, that could be from income. There are going to be financial solvency requirements, and each countries are going to be different. So that's another thing you need to get from the website, or go to the embassy if they don't have a website. I don't know if it doesn't have a website, but if I find a country that doesn't have a website with the information, find an embassy, go there, ask the questions, because you need to know these things ahead of time. Mexico requires the amount of money they want you to have in your bank account. I think it might be around 17,000 US dollars, but you need to show that it's been there for 12 months, or in an account that you manage. If it's not a bank account, like an investment account or something, it has to have been there for 12 months. And so you can't just if our government was giving us huge stimuluses, you couldn't just get a $10,000 stimulus check. Ooh, Lord. A $10,000 stimulus check, and then for 1 month, and then say, I'm going to move. I'm going to use this as proof that I'm financially stable and move. No, they want to see that you've had X amount of dollars for X amount of months. In Mexico, like I said, I think it's around 17,000. And it is for 12 months. You need to prove it. The other option, of course, is to have regular money coming in, like I mentioned, pension, income for work you're not doing in the country. So, because if you're doing that, you probably need a work visa. If you're working in the country, they probably want you to get a work visa. So these are like fine lines you have to draw. If you're working in the country, you're probably gonna have to apply for a work visa. If you have income for work you've been doing overseas coming in, you may not need a work visa. So read the requirements closely. Completing residency processes takes time. It's just a fact. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes precise attention to details. If you don't have the time, if you don't have the energy, if you do not have it in you to pay attention to the details right now, you might want to hire an expediter to either help speed things up or to take care of the process for you because you're not interested in doing all the little minutiae. If that's the case, look for someone who's reputable, look for someone online, find out who people go to in this country to get it done, and hire them to help you. Like I said, you can do this on your own. You don't need help. But if you want help because you want to take some of the load off of your plate, hire an expediter. It's always an option. Now, every country is going to have very specific requirements, and they are going to demand that you meet their requirements exactly. And so you'll need to do research, good research, or rely on somebody else who you trust, absolutely trust, to have done the research for you. You want to know that you have the most current facts when you're doing your application. If getting residency in Mexico, France, Portugal, Cayman Islands, or Costa Rica is in your future, go to exodussummit.com/workshops, link in the description, to sign up for our workshops for getting residency in those 5 specific countries. Now, we are doing the research for you. We will give you the most current facts. We're going to tell you everything you need to know to complete the application, and you'll be able to ask us questions, and you'll be able to ask experts, people who have been through the process before. You'll be able to ask them questions as well, because we want you to live your best life. And sometimes your best life means leaving America, going abroad, and finding what is meant for you out there in the world. So if those 5 countries are of interest to you, France, Mexico, Portugal, Cayman Islands, Costa Rica, if those 5 countries are of interest to you, exodussummit.com/workshops, sign up. These are for you. This is meant for people who live in America, who have American passports, and who want to move abroad. We are going to give you the details of the process, everything you need to know to make it happen. Link is in the description. If this video helped you at all, give it a thumbs up, turn on notifications, subscribe. You'll be the first to know when the next video comes out that can help you move abroad or take the career break of your dreams. Bye.